Hello, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
Episode 2, here we are.
Here we are.
It may feel like it's been a week for you guys, but actually it's been a day for us.
Yeah.
Because
we've had to film one after the other
Yeah.
because we've got exams coming up.
that's a whole other story for another
Yeah,
episode.
we'll save that for another episode.
University exam season.
Yeah, no thanks.
No.
But today, in this episode, we're sort of going to help you feel more prepared, we hope, for walking into your first lecture.
Yeah. Your freshers week's done.
Yeah.
Your freshers week's over. You've had the best time. You've taken all our advice.
You've
from
been
episode
open-minded.
1, and now it's time for the lectures and the work to begin.
And I think this is when it really sinks in, like, okay, wow, I'm at uni.
Yeah.
And this is the part where I had the most anxiety for, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's completely new
Yeah.
for a lot of people, maybe not everyone, but you might have experienced clubbing before, so you've
Going
been in that
out.
environment,
Yeah.
but probably not sat in a lecture hall
No.
and been taught in this style and been graded in this way.
So this episode basically is a rundown of the prep before lectures, what to do once you sort of get into the swing of it, our do's and don'ts, a little bit about grading, a little bit about that first year, and then a couple quick fire little hacks that we found have helped us.
Yeah, we've each picked one thing that we wish we knew, our best piece of advice we could give you.
Yeah.
And then, as usual, we're going to finish with some funny stories from you guys.
Yeah, they were all really funny.
Which we love hearing. We love sitting down and reading them.
Please
So
send them in.
thanks.
Please, obviously, we can't choose all of them to talk about, but we do love reading them, so thank you.
And we didn't actually think we'd get any. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, we're
really
blown away.
Yeah, we love it. So
But
keep them coming.
We hope you enjoy this episode. We hope it helps. So yes, keep listening, stay tuned.
Okay, so preparation.
Yeah, the prep before that first week of lectures that we think you need.
Yeah, because you don't really get any preparation before you go. There's sort of nothing from the uni. You don't know what to bring, really.
No one really mentions before you go to university actually about the work. That preparation is sort of lacking.
And without sounding like a parent, you are there to get a degree. And you are there to learn.
I'm afraid it comes as a bit of a package deal.
Unfortunately, you do have to learn a little bit.
You do pay for it.
It's really daunting, like walking in and not knowing where to sit and like how to act.
What to bring with you. Like, you're not guaranteed in your accommodation to be with people from your course.
Yeah.
Which I think is also a funny thing. Like, I think I remember I was with people from like psychology, law, and I did geography, so
I was lucky enough to be put with someone on geography, which was quite nice.
Yeah, that was good.
Because then we could walk together.
Yeah.
Because you don't, also that's another thing, it's quite hard straight away to know where to go, what building, and reading your timetable, I found that really hard.
Yeah, because it's so different. Like, you've not seen anything like it before. You're in a brand new place. Getting to know, we were on a campus, getting to know, they are huge. Like, campuses are so big and with different building names and different places.
Yeah.
And it can take you a good 15 minutes to walk from one end to the other. It is hard, especially if you're walking around on your own, trying to be like, and you're worried you're going to be late, you're going to have to walk in front of people, and then you might not go. And we just don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
We want you to
So definitely
feel
leave yourself enough time if you do get lost. Because even when I go without Ellie to lectures in our third year, I'm still texting Ellie like, what building is it?
Or
Where
like,
is it?
no, I'm scared.
Are
you going? If you're not going, I'm not going to go.
Yeah. Like, I can't remember what building it's in. So you spend ages walking around trying to find the building. So don't underestimate how long it can actually take you to sort of like get familiar with the campus.
Yeah.
Which is probably quite a good thing to do. Maybe before you go to your lecture, try and walk to the building.
Yeah. Or before you go to your lecture, have a look on the map, because there is maps and stuff. Like, you'll have like online on whatever software website you use at your university, there will be a map online where you can have a look around. Also, a lot of universities, funnily enough, are on like, well, not funnily enough, they're on like Google Maps
and Snap Maps.
Yeah, and
really
Snap Maps are so useful.
Yeah, it has the names of the buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
Leads us on to group chats. So you'll have group chats probably during, even when you get your results, they make group chats
before you've even gone. Yeah,
they'll make a group chat for law, so make sure you're joining that. And then again, like we said in the last episode, add people, message someone and be like,
be
hey,
annoying.
Hey, do you want to walk to the lecture together?
Yeah,
because the chances are they won't have anyone to walk with, so they'll love to walk with you as well.
It's like, it's similar for when you first get your accommodation and people put, like we said last time, people put on like I'm in flat 6, whatever,
Yeah.
and then you message them and be like, oh, I'm in that flat. Same thing with courses. So if you see someone put on any of these Facebook Fresher groups or group chats, be like, oh, I'm in geography, can I be added please? Or I'm in law, can I be added please? And then you can kind of in the group sort of get chatting. If you then look on Facebook at who's in that group, you can then message one of them, and that can sort of take that anxiety away if you've kind of pre-arranged to meet somebody there or meet somebody before, go for a coffee before the lectures start. Kind of breaks up that sort of horrible feeling that you're going to go on your own, you don't know where you're going, you don't know anybody when you get there. Well, if you kind of actively try and meet the people or speak to some people on your course before you get there, that can really help.
So we would definitely say, if you've already sort of familiarised yourself a little bit with the campus, so you know where the building is, you know who you're walking with, and therefore you know who you're sitting with, that instantly takes away the things that are giving you anxiety that you can control. You have control over these things.
Also, like I said last time, you're brave behind a phone. Like, whereas if you got there and you had to speak to someone in person, you might shy away, or it kind of also helps with that awkward sort of small talk beginning thing. Like a couple people who wrote in with a funny story sort of said that like small talk was really awkward. Well, if you've sort of broken the ice over message before you actually go, when you get there, you probably won't have that sort of feeling, and it will make it that little bit easier to kind of actually properly get to know people.
And also, without sounding weird, you can give their Instagram a little bit of a stalk,
a little bit of love.
Go through their Instagram, see what they're into, see if you have anything in common, so that you know when you first walk up to them, you'll be like, hi, and when you first start talking, you'll be like, oh, I noticed you lived here, or I noticed you went to this event.
I was there.
Because
it also friends big festival season, like before you go to uni. So if you went to like Boomtown and they went to Boomtown, then you can be like, oh, I was there, and then you kind of you know, you can then get talking about that, and people don't think it's weird. I think for some reason your brain tells you that these people are all going to judge you. They're not. They're actually, like we literally keep saying, you've probably made that person feel so much better. And they're probably so grateful that you've started talking because they want to speak to you. Everybody wants to get to know everybody. Everybody wants to make friends. And I just think if you do get to know somebody that little bit before you get to that lecture, it just makes it so much easier.
Because realistically, do you think that when you're walking into the lecture room, you're not walking in and being like, oh my god, look at her, look what she's wearing, look how he's sitting by himself, oh my god. If you're not thinking that, no one else is.
And it's not like you're walking in and everybody in that lecture room knows each other.
No
one knows anybody, unless you're really sort of lucky and you went to school with someone on your course, but that's quite rare. That's like a lot of people don't do that. So I think our biggest piece of advice for this would be just like get on those group chats, get on those Facebook Fresher events, and just if you see, oh hi, can someone make a group chat for maths?
Make
like,
one.
Add me, or make them.
Put on your university. They'll have a page. Sort of, we have like an overheard. Which is where people put stuff up. So you join the groups and then put, oh, I'm in geography. I'm in law. I'm going to make a group chat. Like to be added.
And I bet you will get so many likes to be added.
Because everyone's in the same situation. So just remember, if you're not walking into the lecture room judging everyone else, no one's walking in judging you. I can guarantee that everyone that walks through the doors is just thinking about themselves. That's the thing. Like, everyone is quite, like, as humans, we're just inherently selfish. Everyone's thinking about themselves and how they look and what they're doing. No one's looking at you. So just put yourself out there, but having the comfort of knowing where the lecture is and knowing someone, not even knowing them, but having spoke to someone to walk with is so comforting. So our next point is the first week of lectures. They are introductions. They tend to be.
They're not necessarily content. They're not necessarily things you're going to be assigned on. They're not or anything you're going to be examined on. They're just kind of like a welcome to your course sort of thing.
And they're very repetitive, very boring, quite dull. And in hindsight, we didn't need to go because you don't know until after you've been that maybe that was a waste of time. But really, if you've met one person or smiled at one person, it's not a waste of time.
No.
Because you're making the connections and you're getting yourself out there a bit.
Yeah, and I also think that if you don't really need to listen and don't really need to take in the content, it's a great opportunity to kind of get talking and get looking around and seeing familiar faces, because I think I did this multiple times, but I would like see a familiar face in the lecture room who I wouldn't even speak to, and then on a night out you'd like run up to them and be like, hey.
When you've got a few drinks down you, then you start recognising
and
people.
then they're like, hey, and if you recognise these faces, then you will get chatting to them on nights out and stuff. So I think that first couple like days, even though I think everyone will probably agree they're pretty dull and boring,
the content is not essential. But also what I found helped, because I get quite funny about my like organisation, I like to know when everything is. They do tell you like how you're going to be examined, so if it's like 50% exam, 100% exam, and it's a good chance to get to know your lecturers. And because if they recognise your face, then it's just like they just like it, and you sort of just form a better bond with the lecturers as well. And I can probably guarantee that the first introduction lectures will be the busiest lectures of the whole 3 years. Because everyone goes to them because no one knows what they're going to be about and what you're going to do. So there'll be the chance where you can meet the most people.
And also, kind of similar to going to those introduction lectures, go to your introduction tutor group meetings. Because that's how me and Kez met. We met at our tutor group meeting, and I think, I don't know for every university, but I think universities have tutor groups. I'm not sure. We definitely did. So if you do have one, then go. And
it's a good chance to be a bit more one-on-one and a bit more like personal with people. Because you can actually have conversations.
You're forced to talk.
You sit next to each other on a table. But I mean, not every uni will have that. And it's fine if they don't.
Also, don't think just because you're at university now and you're an adult and you're past that your tutor's not worth going to. Because it really was, for us in particular.
100%. You don't know. I think that's the most important thing. You don't know who you're going to meet, when you're going to meet them, and where you're going to meet them. So go to everything, talk to everyone.
And I think also really getting to know course mates is like just great. Like I'm not sure whether we just got to know loads of ours, because obviously we were at university through COVID, so messaging online all the time. But it's so great if you have a good bond with your course mates, because they're going to be there for the whole 3 years. We use
our group chat of our course
like
all
every
the
day.
Time. Like about assignments, when stuff's due. You have people in the group chats that are student ambassadors. Is that what they're called? Student union. And they know more information than you do sometimes that you might have missed on an email. Like, oh, there's a pizza night tonight. And then you can go to them if you feel like you want to and get to know your like course mates and stuff, which are really useful. Definitely. And obviously not every uni did this and not every course does this, but we went on a trip. They took us on a trip. Which at the time I was like, why? This is going to be the worst thing ever. I was like, this is so not up my street. But when we were there, it was lovely. They put us in random rooms, which again sounds really scary, but it's nice. And I think you underestimate how much time and how valuable it can be to be friends with your course mates, because group work.
Just being vocal in that group chat and how you feel. The reps were so good.
They're so useful. So use them to your advantage. Use the group chats and use social media to your advantage. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. Use it to your advantage, because it's such a valuable thing to have when you're going to uni. To familiarise yourself with the people, the faces, the names, and just make group chats. If there isn't any group chats, make them.
Be the person that makes them, definitely.
Okay, so do's and don'ts.
The do's and don'ts.
Once you've got the first introductions out of the way, you've hopefully made some lecture friends going forward in your first year. Once you've been to a few, you can sort of gather like the lecturer's teaching style. So some of them are really organised. They record all their lectures, they put up all the slides, all the information, everything. And then if you do
some
miss
of them are
one,
like the opposite.
So if you do miss one, that it's very easy to catch up. Some of them put just photos on their slides and don't record them. So if you miss it,
that's it.
Unless you know someone that's taken notes. But I do think people take they're quite personal. So what makes sense to them might not make sense to you. So don't rely on your friends to take notes. So you should really quickly learn which ones are worth going to and which ones
obviously
you could
we're not
miss.
Encouraging you to not go.
No, go to every single lecture.
Go every single
100%
one.
attendance is so important.
No, it's really not.
No, it isn't. And if you feel like you can't go to one because you're tired.
It's just not your day, you know. You might be a bit hungover from the night before, and you might not feel like going, or you might need to be at home, or there might be something that you need to do. It doesn't matter, and I think as long as you don't have like 0% attendance, the university are not gonna. They're not gonna know. Like we said, like lecturers literally turn up, they want to teach their lecture, and then they go and teach their next one. They're not counting who's there, who's not there. Like it's only really a problem if you start missing loads, because obviously then they sort of can flag it up.
I think there's like a certain number of lectures. If you consistently miss them, your attendance is low, like 30% in your assignments, they will flag you up and sort of call you in for a meeting and ask like why.
Yeah.
But just if you miss one because you're hungover, and it's like Ellie said, it's not your day, you're having an anxious day, you want to have a day in bed, don't push yourself too much and like burn yourself out to get to the lectures, because there are options if you miss them.
Yeah.
But obviously you do quickly gather which ones that you can and can't really miss and go to.
Yeah, definitely.
So what is different, we found, from A-levels to uni, which we didn't expect, and I definitely didn't realise because I spent loads of money on files and paper and pens.
Stationery.
So didn't use any of it.
No.
All I used was my iPad at the start and then a laptop.
And it's quite a big adjustment, because obviously you go from sixth form or college where you've, you know, done everything and written books and like having to keep every piece of paper you've ever written, and revision cards and revision notes and things like that. And I just think when you get to university, you don't need any of that. You really don't need any of that.
But I think it's also important to learn how you learn best. So trial it in the first few weeks. Try some taking notes with a pen and paper.
Yeah.
Try some with a laptop. I think why we would recommend laptops is because the lecturers do tend to put up the slides. And if they go too quickly or you miss something, you know that you've got the lecture slides in front of you, so you can still read them. Whereas if you're using pen and paper and they skip slides, then you feel behind and you're constantly playing catch up.
Also, just having a laptop and sort of having this thing called the OneDrive, which a lot of you probably have heard of. Like the work on your laptop is stored on this OneDrive, so you can access it wherever you are. If you panic that you've lost anything, whatever, you can back all your work up rather than.
It's all sort of protected in your laptop then, or on the OneDrive instead of paper. You could spill something, you could lose something, and also I think just remembering when you go to your lectures that a lot of the lecturers do have them recorded or the lecture slides up. You don't need to write down everything.
No.
It's such a waste of time, and it's actually so much more valuable to listen.
Yeah. There's absolutely no need for you to be scribbling down every word they're saying.
There's some people in lectures and I'm watching them, like they have the slides up on one side of their screen and they're typing up the slides.
Yeah.
But you have the slides.
Yeah.
There's just typed down information, in my opinion, that one, you don't know and you think, oh, I didn't know that, I need to research that
or
a bit
like
more.
One thing the lecturer says that isn't on the slide that obviously they want to try and see if you've picked up on.
Yeah, because then if you then maybe use that in an exam, they'll like that because they know you've been there and listened.
Yeah.
But also we do know that having a laptop and having access to that kind of like equipment is a luxury, and not everyone has that.
No, not everyone has that. So don't forget that through your university you can apply for things like bursaries that can help you. A lot of the universities, I say a lot, every university has a library where they have like really nice computers, so you can do your work on there, and like I said, like save it onto the OneDrive, then you can access it if you have a family computer at home or something, then you can access it when you go back there, because a lot of, well, I think it's going to become the reality that universities don't want
online.
paper submissions anymore. So if you do struggle or you are worried starting university about lack of maybe equipment or not having a laptop and things like that, then we would really advise you to get in touch with the university, because they will help you, even if they lend you a laptop, because there's laptops they can loan, because they were going to loan me one for my DIS when I couldn't access this software. So they're really chill about it. And they want to help you, and they understand also that like the world we live in now is moving online, and so even if you can't get a bursary or something, you can borrow a laptop from the university. Yeah,
but they are very willing, and they have money set aside for things like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes they give people bursaries automatically.
Yeah.
Depending on how big your loan is. If they see that you've got the biggest loan, sometimes they automatically give you a bursary, which is nice.
Yeah.
And the bursary is non-repayable. It's not a loan, so you don't repay it back. It's free money.
It's to help you. So they don't expect you to give it to them back. They just want to help you. So definitely get in touch with your university.
Yeah.
If it is something you're worried about, do it sooner rather than later, and then you can stop worrying about it.
And they will help you. And we do definitely think that a laptop is probably the easiest thing. And I don't know about other unis, but like Ellie said, our university didn't accept paper submissions for a lot of things. You have to submit them online.
Especially since COVID.
Yeah, 100%. Because we literally couldn't submit paper things in COVID.
No.
So
we didn't even print off our dissertations. We literally submitted them online.
Yeah. But we did print off the front cover for a photo.
Yeah, for a picture.
Just exposing
ourselves. But obviously, if paper works for you, if you know that typing notes on a laptop is rubbish and you hate it, by all means take paper. Write it all down on paper. But I just think back it up on a laptop. It's all neat on a laptop. Everything's on a laptop. And also, actually, bring paper. Bring as much paper as you want, but just don't bring the files. Don't bring all that stuff. You don't need like anything like that.
If you do have like files and stuff left over, then that's fine. But I wouldn't go out and spend loads of money.
No.
So a good idea, I suppose, is if you do like taking stuff on paper, like taking notes on paper, is most people tend to have a smartphone these days with a camera.
Yeah.
Take photos of maybe the paper notes you've made.
Yeah.
So then you have a copy that is on your phone, on somewhere online, put it on the OneDrive so that then your notes are safe. It's a much safer way of doing it, because else all the hard work and all the special notes you've taken could be gone.
Yeah. Also, I think something that I was not prepared for when I came to university, because I just didn't think lectures were like this. Some lecturers do expect you to speak. They do expect you to involve in conversation. I think it's just good to warn you guys that you might have to speak sometimes. Yeah. And that is scary. I mean, some of them are like, don't worry if you don't want to talk. Yeah. Like, I will never pick on you. But some of them are a bit like...
Some of them don't come at it with that approach. But also, you are like well within your right to just say no. But I do think it's good to try and be interactive with them, because it helps. It does help.
Yeah, and
if
they're
you feel comfortable enough doing that.
Yeah, definitely. Also, don't be afraid to like hide your knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, if you know it, say it. Because you'll look... Like, people will love it, and they also love that you've said something so that they don't have to.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone's looking around the room wanting someone else to say something. So if you do know the answer when they ask questions, just say it.
Yeah.
And if it's wrong, no one's going to go home after the lecture and be like, oh my God, that boy, that girl.
I think I got something wrong once.
Yeah, that got the answer wrong. Like, imagine being them.
And also, the lecturer just goes like, yeah, that wasn't what I was expecting, but thank you. And you're like, oh, that was wrong. But they are quite nice about it. But they also seem to love a Kahoot. I feel like there are so many lectures that we've been to that we've been forced to play Kahoot in. So quite a few lectures are quite interactive. You know, courses like ours. I think we did geography. So I feel like, especially with human geography, a lot of the lecturers love to hear your side, because it's quite like...
It's opinion based.
Yeah, it's opinion based. So I feel like there's no right or wrong. They love to hear about it. So if you do take a course that's quite like that, be prepared.
Yeah, but I think you would think that, like, starting a module like law, or I'm trying to think of other examples that maybe they want to hear your opinion, politics, like international relations, like
criminology,
subjects like that where you have to sort of give your input. They are obviously going to ask you questions, but just don't be scared. Like, no one, again, like what I was saying earlier,
in fact,
no one's going to think about it.
It's awkward if people sit there in silence.
Yeah, it's worse. It is so much worse.
It is worse. But I think that's the thing, 'cause I don't think I expected lectures to be like that. I think I really thought they were very sort of just go there, listen and leave, which the majority of the time they are.
Yeah, some of them do that, but actually you find that the ones that try and make it interactive and are
better.
So much better, and you get better grades, and they're nicer. And you can email them. Another thing is that some courses let you choose your modules. So I think it's really important to make sure that you're choosing them wisely. Play to your strengths. So if you see that one is 100% exam and you love taking exams, you're so much better at exams, pick that one.
Yeah.
But if there's one that is 50% exam, 50% coursework, which gives you more space in case you mess up on the exam, choose that one. But also make sure it's a good balance between the modules that you like, and make sure it's a good balance between the content and how you're being assessed.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you don't want to do a module that's 100% exam because you like exams but you hate the content, because you'll be so unmotivated to do it. So make sure you find the right balance between, if you do get the choice of modules. But we had like quite a free reign of modules, didn't we?
Yeah, all universities, when you do get the chance to choose your modules, they have so much about them. I think you should have to actually like click on the module name, and you'll get like when it is in the year, is it in the first semester or the second? How are you assessed? How many contact hours do you have a week? Just read it all thoroughly, because you also don't want to pick, like, let's say you get the choice of 4 modules, like you get to choose 4. You don't want to pick 3 that are in the same semester and 1 in the last, because it's not balanced, and you'll find the first semester horrible and stressful and the second one easy, which sometimes people think that's a good idea, but it's just not. I would always recommend even balance, so like 2 and 2. Or 4 and 4 or anything like that, because otherwise you are going to work yourself up, and the majority of people have that balance. So it's almost like if everyone else is sort of doing the same as you, even though you're all stressed, you're kind of stressed together. You don't want to be that one person that's like over stressing because you chose to pick more modules than you should have done.
Yeah.
So I think just read, when you do get that information, just read it all like thoroughly through. They're so good with like providing information about it.
Yeah, definitely. So we would say like definitely using a laptop is going to be more beneficial.
Yeah.
And if you can't afford one and you don't have one already, they do have bursaries available, so definitely make use of that. Like,
get in touch with
so useful. So laptops, choosing your modules wisely, so make sure you've got the balance between the semesters, and make sure you've got the balance between the content that you enjoy and how you like being examined.
Yeah, because it's all good that you prefer exams, but what if you absolutely hate the module you've chosen and you've only picked it for exams? That's just stupid, because you do also want to learn when you're there. You want to leave with a bit of knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. And the good thing about, an important thing about having balance as well is like, as much as you are there to learn, you're also there to have fun. And if you overload yourself in one semester, you're closing yourself off to then that more fun side. So you have to just make sure. And then if that like second semester you've got 1 but everyone else has 4, well then you're not going to be having fun, because they're not going to be having fun. You won't have anyone to have fun with.
No.
So just make sure, if you do get the option to pick your modules, that you're choosing them wisely and reading into them a lot.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that I think it took me a while to get to grips with at the start was how lecturers mark and grade your work, because it is so different from when you're from school at A-levels, isn't it? I think you come from A-levels where, you know, if you get people are getting like 90%. It's not even marked in percent, I don't think. I think it's marked in like A, B, C, isn't it, at school? Yeah. I mean, I was GCSEs when it changed to numbers, but I think you get to university and it's graded in percent for a start. Get adapted to the fact that 70% becomes like the new 100.
Yeah, 70% is amazing.
Yeah, is a first. It's what they call a first. 70% or above is a first. 60% or above is a 2-1. 50% is a 2-2, and then anything above 40% is a third. But it's just really weird, because I think if I was at sixth form when I got told I got like 70%, I'd have been happy. Or like 60%, I'd have been happy, but you wouldn't have any sort of like amazing praise. If you get 70% at university, it's like you've literally got 100.
Yeah, I mean, if you get 50% at A-levels, I'm pretty sure it's like a D. It's like a C.
Yeah.
It's not, and you would have been a bit like, oh.
Your like teacher would be like, you know, try better next time. Yeah. Like,
but 50-60% in uni is really good. Works in your favour, because then you don't have to get as good to get the good grades. But also,
I think it's harder.
Don't be disheartened if you get 60, 50, 40.
Yeah.
Because 60 and 50 is amazing.
Well, I got 43% in my first year exam.
Yeah, so did I. I think I got like 42.
Yeah, so you know.
We were scraping a pass, but the first year is about learning.
Such a learning year.
Like, if a teacher tells you at school, we're going to have a quiz, but we're not going to mark it and it's not going to count towards anything, then you think, you're not stressed about it, because you're like, oh, it doesn't really count. It's not marked towards anything. It's like formative. Yeah. So you just use it as you use it to learn from, and you take the criticism, you take the feedback, and then you change that for your next one. And that was what the whole of first year is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think obviously as soon as you submit assignments, and the more you submitted first year, the more you'll get used to the grade boundaries and the marking and things like that. But I think it's good to like let you guys know that it is a lot different. But if you do get where you might have got 60 before, it might have made you a bit sort of disheartened. If you get 60 now, then it's literally like,
it's amazing.
You have done amazing. So bear that in mind when you do, like, you know, get your first result back. Also, it's your first result at university. I think you could have done it completely wrong, because you don't know what you're doing, or they've asked you to do like reference or something like that, and you don't even know where to begin. All you need to do from that is, okay, I didn't do very well. But then use that first year to get that feedback, read it thoroughly through, and use it for the next assignment you do. It doesn't matter in first year. First year does not count for anything apart from learning. taking it all in, knowing what works, knowing what doesn't work, knowing whether paper works or your laptop. What do you prefer? It's all about figuring out for you what learning style you have, whether you like to write notes or type notes. It's just completely a year for you to figure out what's going on.
And if you come to uni and you're getting first in all your assignments straight away, like, oh my God, jealous, amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
Didn't happen for us. No. But it's about learning. And if you're coming and getting first, then you don't really have much else to learn. And for a lot of people, like, this is the first time you've ever wrote a proper essay, a report, like how to structure a report and referencing. Our first essay, I remember walking over to Ellie in the library and I was like, what is referencing?
Yeah.
What actually is it? I've never learnt it. You've never used it before. You don't even know what plagiarism is, really. And you don't know how important it is to reference.
Yeah. Also, I came from A-levels where I did English lit at A-levels. So I was completely used to, like, I think it was called PEAL, the PEAL method. So it was like point, evidence, explain, link back to the question. And you come to university and I think I peeled in one of my exams or my essays and it got like 50. And they wanted a whole different kind of structure. And I think that's what first year is all about. It's me then thinking, okay, yeah, I didn't do as well, but I now know that the structure I was using from A-levels was not what my lecturers now want, and you can change it. So it's just really refreshing. Like, don't expect to come into first year and literally smash it, because also you're going out all the time, you're having fun all the time, you're prioritizing making your new friends and doing things like that. But if you do get a piece of work back, just look at that feedback, because it was really helpful.
Yeah, it's literally just about learning. And if you've got a piece of work back and they've said, oh, you haven't, one thing that they say a lot of the time is critical analysis. To be honest, I still don't think I really understand what that is.
No, don't get me started on a lit review.
Yeah, no, we actually won't.
No,
but it's just, like Ellie said, it's just literally all about adapting and learning. And learning, different lecturers like different styles of things. So learning what they're looking for is important. Learning how to write a uni essay, how to submit it. Learning how the software works where you submit it. Learning how they mark plagiarism. Everything like that is so much more important than the actual grade you're getting.
Yeah, definitely.
The stuff you're learning is more, prioritise the stuff you're learning over the grades you're getting in first year, because no one ever looks at them again. No one ever asks.
They don't go towards anything. They're literally put in a bin.
Well, check your course, because some courses first year counts for maybe a little %, but ours didn't. No. I don't think anyone in our universities,
the majority of courses didn't. Yeah.
But do double check. But I just think prioritise you having fun, making friends, learning what works for you and what doesn't over your grades in first year, because they're not important.
Because I'd much rather you guys go into second year knowing how you like to work, knowing how you should structure your essays, knowing that you can critically analyse, knowing that you've learned so much, knowing how to manage your time properly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'd rather, I think you would rather be able to do that, go into second year where the grades start to count and smash it.
So prioritise doing that over getting a good grade. And when you do get your grade back, unlike A-levels, 50 and 60 is amazing.
Really good.
So bear that in mind.
Yeah, literally, yeah. We have
some quick fire
hacks, tips and tricks.
Things which we knew.
Things we wish that we knew before we started uni. Okay. Well, before we started the uni work.
Okay, yeah, Ellie, go. What's yours?
My quick fire hack is 3, 2, 1, my bib.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if any of you have heard of my bib. I'm sure some of you out there have. My bib.
The best thing ever.
The best. So, when you get to university, you have to do this thing called referencing. So basically, if you get information from online, if you get information from online, from anybody else, any journal article, any website, anything, you have to reference that website or journal article or person, basically, because otherwise you get done credit for plagiarism and then you get sacked from the uni. Well, no, you don't really, but you know what I mean. My bib is this website that does it all for you. All you have to do is copy and paste the link of the site, and then bam, it comes up with the information, it comes up with the person's name, the website, what date you accessed it, what date it was published, everything.
So easy.
Also, different courses use different referencing styles. Don't ask me why.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. You just have to go along with it though. I mean, if you did want to know, you probably could ask, but we don't have time for that. So we used, in geography, Harvard. So all you have to do on my bib is where it says referencing style or whatever, just there'll be a list of them and Harvard will be there. You just press it and then all you got to do, copy and paste that link.
Yeah.
Bam.
Or the name of the journal article, and it does it for you. In the right
amazing.
order, alphabetical order, everything formatted right.
You can
commas,
then copy the in-text citation, because you have to put in, after you've like in the middle of the essay, after you've put the information that you found from somewhere else, you then have to put an in-text citation. All you have to do is copy and paste that, and then at the end of the piece of work you have to put a reference list. All you have to do is press copy in reference list style or whatever it says, and then it copies the reference list for you. It is revolutionary. It makes referencing actually quite fun.
My Bib, if you want to sponsor the podcast.
My Bib, yeah. If you
we will. You are the MVP.
Yeah, you are the MVP. Kez, what's your quick fire hint, tip, trick, hack?
Okay,
whatever?
if you know me, you're gonna probably tell me to shut up. But Grammarly, I'm not very good at grammar and like knowing where you're.
She's from Plymouth, so they don't speak right. Joking.
Yeah, you are. Grammarly, honestly. So I did pay for it, but you don't have to. But again, you probably could get a bursary for something like that. But
bursary for Grammarly? Yes, you could. Absolutely not. Can you get a bursary for Grammarly?
You can ask. Definitely ask.
No, you can't.
Anyway,
they give you bursaries for things you actually need.
This is my Ellie, right? Okay, okay, guys.
I don't love Grammarly. No, I do love it. I've never really used it.
Also, I would say get one person. Like, if you live in a house of 8 girls, split it, because you just have to have one account. You can all log in.
What is it? £100 for the year?
It's £100 for the year, but split it between all of you.
Yeah.
It does plagiarism checks before you put it in, so you know that you're not going to get done for plagiarism. It rewrites your sentences that aren't good. It puts in the commas, and it makes everything. It takes away
all like.
It saves
words.
me hours. It makes sure you don't repeat things. That is, Grammarly is my one and only quickfire tip. So there you go. You're all welcome for our golden pieces of knowledge. Okay, so we're almost done. It's almost over. This
episode 2 is almost finito.
Almost coming to an end. But before we go, the favourite time of the episode, it's definitely our favourite time to record. We have the most fun recording these ones. Our favourite story.
We got quite a few sent in, didn't we?
Yeah, it was hard to pick actually.
Well, it's just my favourite because it must have been so awkward.
Yeah,
is
die in a whole moment.
Yeah, so somebody went on a night out,
Freshers
as you
events.
do. It was at a freshers event. They went on a night out in that first week, like we told you to. So maybe it's our fault, even though they wouldn't have listened to this. And they obviously met someone when they were out, got with someone, went back with somebody. Yeah, and then guess what happened?
Yeah.
What happened next?
So that was all well and good, sneaky link. Go home, and then you listen to episode 2 before you get ready for your first lecture.
Yeah.
And you walk in to your first lecture, and you'll get put in. You're assigned to tutor groups, and who are you assigned to sit next to? Your sneaky link. Can you imagine?
Your bloody sneaky link.
I think I would have turned around. I'd be like, nah.
Bear in mind, Kez was my tutor partner.
Yeah, this is not about us.
No. Just imagine, that must have just been so awkward, especially if because they didn't go into detail, but especially if they snuck out in the morning,
or
they woke up and they had anxiety and was like, what have I just done?
Yeah, like beer goggles, and then you wake up and you have to sit with them, face them the next morning.
And what if the other one wanted to stay for breakfast or progress, and the other one was like, no, What if they had a girlfriend or something, or a boyfriend? You just don't know.
We need more information.
We do need more info. I think if you are listening and you did send this to us, we do want more info because we just cannot comprehend it. It's just so awkward.
It's hilarious though. So I think the one, like we normally do, the one piece of advice that we would say take home from this is don't sleep with your tutor partner.
Don't sleep with your tutor partner. Obviously, this person didn't know. But I just hope they didn't do it again.
Well, do you know what? It could have blossomed. We're going to have to...
They could be together. We just don't know. They should have said.
Well, anyway, guys, thanks for listening.
I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in.
Love you
with
as always.
Us. Yep. We will see you next Sunday. Well, I won't see you. You will hear us next Sunday for a brand new episode.
Love ya.
Bye.